Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Let's Chat Reality. I'm Michael,
And I'm Molly.
and we are here today to do another Survivor cast draft for season 49. It's right around the corner. We had so much fun last season doing this, so we decided to do it again. And with us, once again, our Survivor cast draft correspondent from the Pod Friends, Pride Has Spoken, Wrestling Wrap Up, among many others, Matt Scott. Matt, how are you?
I'm fantastic, and what I loved like doing the draft with you two, like uh, earlier this year. I almost wouldn't say last year,
Oh
but
my
earlier
god, it
this
was
year
earlier
for
this year.
season 48, and I've always wanted to be a draft person in some way, shape, or form, and now we're doing it. It's a tradition. It's
Yes.
official.
Yes.
M, like together, better than ever. I'm pumped for this.
Yeah.
Well,
And last
so
draft
are
was
we.
fun. Oh, yeah, it was fun that we also all made it pretty far. Like all of our teams like actually got pretty far into the show, which we never, I mean, none of us would have expected it to be pretty close to up until the
Yeah.
end. So that was also exciting.
Yes. No, it's always more fun when you have somebody all the way till the end to root for, so we'll see if that happens again
I was gonna
here.
say, side note, Molly, that was so humble of you as the draft
Yeah.
winner last time. Like, everyone did a great job, but you're wearing the crown right now. So
Thank you.
yeah, Michael and I have to. I think we need some redemption.
Yeah, pressure's on. Pressure's on.
It
But
really
let's
is.
see what happens here. So, Matt, we have our 18 castaways
Ooh,
here. What are your kind of just overall thoughts on this cast?
this is a really quirky cast in a lot of ways. Like I feel like they all have actually, so in looking at the Instagram clips, I think a lot of people are like, wow, this is like a weird group of people. But I think it is, but I love that about this group. We don't have I'm not seeing a lot of people who I'm thinking like, oh, that's like the Boston Rob. That's insert this person here. So I really love this group. And I also feel like personally for me, I see myself in a lot more of these cast members, which it'll be interesting to see if I attempt to draft them or stay away from them. Like probably say a lot about me. But I like this group a lot. It just feels different. I don't know how do you feel about it?
No, I agree. This cast to me, like last season felt almost more like a Big Brother cast in a lot of ways.
Oh
This one
wow.
feels like we've gone back to like, this is a Survivor cast. Like, this is like a Survivor New Era cast specifically. Like, it's like,
Mm.
there are a lot of like little nerdy, little, like, a lot of super fans, a lot of people that have been watching the show for a really long time. And I like that. That's what I come to Survivor for. I come to Big Brother for the nonsense and the, wacky, carnival games and whatever we're
Right.
getting this season. And Survivor, I like a super fan strategy. Like that's what I come here for, and I feel like we're gonna get a lot of that this season. But Molly, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I also agree. I feel like pretty much like there are so many people that I think could win in this season, which is
Mm.
I guess a good thing, but also just have to see like how everyone plays together. And I think with all
Right.
these personalities, it'll be really interesting to see how they mesh well or if they don't and how that goes because they're all trying to do strategy and then if that's gonna maybe be different or opposing each other complementing each other, then that could be good. But we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I like this cast.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that by the way, like that so many people can win because I don't really see a lot of people where I'm thinking like, oh, that person's the weak player. And
Hmm.
maybe if we look at old school Survivor, it would be a bit easier to distinguish this, but yeah, a lot of people definitely are contenders or have a chance at winning.
And that's what I like about Survivor is that I do feel like the show evolves as time goes on because like as fans we have seen more. So we've seen more of like what to do, what not to do, what like and when you keep casting fans, then you're going to get better players because you're going to get people that understand that lore and that strategy and the meta of the game and all that stuff that really like allows them to keep throwing new things at them, every season, but also to them to know kind of to understand the game better every time. And And so, yeah, I think that there does seem like there's a lot of people this season who have a good shot, and I am excited to see how it all unfolds.
Yes.
Let's get
The
started.
tension is really high, by the way. I'm like, who's gonna draft first? What's our order? There's
Well,
like we're really
Well,
friendly right now, but I feel like the competitiveness is about to set
mhm.
in.
Well, we have
Uh-oh.
somebody who will be picking our order based on how things went last time. So, Molly, you are our
Oh.
reigning champ. You get to
yes.
pick our order here. So, to let everyone know, we are doing a snake draft again this
Mm-hmm.
year. So, Molly will pick the order for the first round, and then it will come back around. Whoever gets in third will get two in a row, and then it'll come back around to first, and so on and so forth. So, Molly, what have you decided?
Okay, so I feel like so I was actually researching this a little bit just right before this of with the snake draft, the best place is actually for the three people we have together to do this draft is third. So I am
Wow.
choosing myself to go third. And now I'm gonna choose Matt to go first and Michael second.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I I'm good with
I
that because
I
that's the order that I wrote our names in. So
Oh.
oh
it
I
worked
think
out.
I'm pretty sure I went first last time too.
Well,
But
maybe
maybe as a courtesy, like as
yeah.
a guest the first time.
Alphabetical order. It helps you with the MA.
Yeah, I think that's how we did it last. I
Yeah.
think we went alphabetically last
Yeah.
time. Yep.
Oh wow.
But this
And we're
time
doing it again this time.
I just felt like giving you first.
Wow.
All right. Matt, you have your pick of the
Okay.
litter.
Of anyone.
Yes,
Of
anyone. We're
anyone.
not doing it by tribe. We're just gonna go
Yeah.
across
We're gonna
everything.
we're
Okay.
gonna let fate figure out how many are from each tribe are on each of our teams this year.
Well, I feel okay. Well, I know who I'm going to pick first. And this is someone who I've been very impressed by in the preseason. This is someone who I feel like is very self-aware. Someone who I see now I'm gonna see. I was about to say I see myself in them, and then be like, "Oh, look, you're so impressed by yourself and self-aware." What I meant is that like I am someone who is like a storyteller, an interviewer, and I think that that leads you to being, or when you do that a lot, it leads you to knowing when to like be tapped in with people, but also how to interact with people. Uh, and there's I don't think anyone would be surprised that I'm picking this person based on things they may or may not have heard about them. So I'm going to go with someone I hope will take the win home for me. And I'm going to go with Savannah from Atlanta, Georgia,
Hmm.
31, marketer, former journalist, might be a little bit of a parvati, works
Yeah.
for her parents currently, wants to cause chaos, but also solve the chaos. It's a little wild, but I feel like so good about her. She was one of the few preseason interviews I watched, and obviously I think there's like some bias to her even, but I that's gonna be my pick right now.
All right.
Did I do a good job?
Yeah, I think so. Because you didn't pick who I was going to pick, so I'm happy with it
Oh no.
now. No, I like Savannah a lot. I
Yeah.
think that she reminds me of like Venus and Parvati meshed together in one person almost.
Ooh. That's hard because if you just said I gave her Parvati, but then to add in Venus, that does I don't know what that does
Well,
for
no,
her.
in placement, but I think just
Yeah,
like
placement
I
wise.
in personality, I feel like I see it, but I think that it might even be like the best of both worlds of both of them. Like
Hmm.
I think that she has like a little bit more of like an edge to her than Parvati, if that makes sense. Like I could see her kind of like
Oh yeah.
maybe getting in a little conflict with some people, and that's not really Parvati. But I really think that she's going to be very game savvy. She's a fan of this show. I really like her a lot.
Yeah.
I'll say
Molly, what did you
I think
think?
too,
so.
like yeah, I'm curious, Molly, your thoughts on Savannah.
Yeah, I like Savannah too. I think that she has a lot of potential with just her personality, what we've seen so far of her and just overall strategy play. I think she could build strong alliances and make it far.
Yeah, I think like one thing about her that jumps out to me the most is that in her interview with Mike Bloom, she's very quick and you could see her brain working very quickly, where she'd like say a thing, but then really come off as self-aware about it, and uh, like I don't know, that self-awareness really impressed me a bit. But we'll see whether the charm, self-awareness, and all really works for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, where do we think she's gonna land in her tribe? I think that this is an interesting thing that we can kind of talk about with each person as we go. So she is on the Yuli tribe. Uli or Yuli? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. She is with Jawan, Nate, Rizzo, Sage, and Shannon. I could see Savannah. I see Savannah and Rizzo probably getting along well. I could see Savannah and Sage maybe getting along. I feel like she's gonna clash with Shannon. That's my guess. I feel like she's gonna get annoyed by Shannon.
I I think that's a good guess for a lot of people. So like I don't, yeah, I see that, but I could see her getting along with a lot of people. That I'll say overall, I feel really great about that tribe.
Hmm.
But like, and well, we'll get to other people and talk about them. But I feel great about the tribe. Shannon, not as much, but we'll draft her at some point. Maybe she'll
Yeah,
be so,
in like an
Becca, maybe
hour
she'll
we'll
be
draft
your,
her.
oh, in an hour? No, I
Yeah.
thought she'd be a first round pick for someone. Hopefully.
Maybe we'll regret this. We will look back at this on finale night and be like,
I hope
nobody
so.
picked Shannon, and
That'd be a
she's
lot of
in the
fun.
final five. Oh boy. All right, it is my turn, I
Yeah,
guess.
Michael.
Okay. So I am going to pick. This is who I really wanted. So I'm very glad that this
Oh.
person has not been picked yet. They remind me so much of the legend, the only Suri Fields. I really love her. Her interview is just like she lights up a room, and it doesn't hurt that she's also from Houston, Texas, my hometown. I'm gonna pick Christina Mills.
Yeah, I had a feeling when she said Suri, I was like, oh, I know who this is.
Oh, totally. And I
Yeah.
think she compares herself to Suri too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, she reminds me of like Suri and Taj from Token Chains. Like that
Mm.
is I see both of those with her, and I just love her. She every answer, everything, like I just her tribe is going to gravitate towards her, I really think. I just see her like just everyone loving her, and like even if she's maybe not the strongest in the challenges, I just feel like they're gonna be like, who do we want to spend our days with? I really want to spend time
Right.
with Christina, and I feel like that goes a long way of just like, who do I want to like be here on this stuck on this island with? And I feel like she's going to be the top of everyone's list.
She's a
Yeah.
great pick just in general. Like I think from the just like I would, like just from the perspective of feeling good about having her on your draft team, she's someone there. And I will say, I did not like for most of the people, I did not get around to watching their individual interviews, and so now I need to go back and listen to Christina. I feel like last time too, like maybe I hadn't watched Stars, and then we talked about Stars. I'm like,
Mm.
wait, I need to know Stars. So, yeah,
Well, you have star updates for that now.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, there's a lot of Star content out there, thankfully.
Yeah, that's a good first pick, Michael.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
approve of that.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now Molly, you get two in a row.
Yes. Okay. So for my first pick, I'm gonna go with Sophie with an I. She is from Miami, and she's watched for a long time. She says since she's 7 years old, so 20 years old. For 20 years now. She's 27 now, which is also my age, so I feel connected. But I also just like her energy. I think that she's gonna get along with a lot of people. And overall, I just get a good sense. It's funny because I didn't even realize it until like I got a TikTok. She came up on my For You page of like a
Oh.
video she posted like a few weeks ago, and so like,
Oh wow.
did she post TikTok? She has 100,000 followers on TikTok, so I'm like,
Oh.
so
Wow.
she's
Okay.
like kind of an influencer. I don't know, but she seems really cool, and I'm rooting for her. So I want to have her on my team.
Do you know what kind of business she runs in Miami?
She said it was like with phone case repair.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Or phone repair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
That's she.
interesting.
Yeah, she was
So
talking about
specific.
with Mike how she was
I love
like
it.
wanted to pick something like kind of unusual, out of the box, kind of, and that's what she came up with. Which,
But
yeah,
practical.
hmm
Maybe that's how
everyone
she'll
needs a
play her
corner pick.
game. Yeah, I felt really great about Sophie, by the way. Like one of the top people for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said in her interview that her biggest strength is being a people person, but her weakness is not being a people pleaser. So I could see her kind of maybe being somebody who maybe gets in conflict with like the big guy on the tribe, who maybe like the meatheads type of thing. Like I could see her maybe being somebody who's not just kind of like, if somebody on her, wait, let me think, who's on her tribe, like is there anyone? Oh
I'm
yeah, so
pulling it
she's on
up.
with Jake. But Jake,
Uh,
to me, we'll talk about Jake later, I guess. But I don't know, that I could see maybe them having some conflict, and Sophie kind of maybe being like the victim of that, potentially, like if they want to keep the
Mm,
tribe strong. I don't know. That's the only time I could see her kind of being in danger pre-merge, but overall I really like her. Good pick.
Thanks. Okay,
yeah.
so next I'm gonna go with Nicole. So also staying
Hmm.
with the Kel Heel tribe. How do you
Calais,
say it?
yeah,
Kelly?
I think.
So actually, one of my friends who went to the Ohio State University is friends or knew her as
Oh.
well. So I have some kind of I have a degree connection to Nicole. So I'm
That's
also
like insider trading.
yeah.
Yeah,
Don't do
wait a
that.
minte, what do you
Yeah,
know?
no.
No,
Wait
she
a
doesn't
minute.
know. She doesn't know anything.
Pause.
Refresh.
Okay.
I actually don't know. She hasn't. She just said she like found out like when she got announced to be on Survivor that her friend was gonna be on
Mhm.
Survivor, but like they hadn't talked in years. Like like it, they're
Hmm.
not close like that anymore. So it's different. It's not. They're not super close, but
Okay,
they know each
fine.
Sure.
other.
Likely
We'll go with
story.
it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this all shakes
Yeah.
out.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, when she has the top six,
I
Yeah.
we'll
promise.
know.
I plead that I've not heard any information.
Okay.
But I think that just overall her interview with Mike just gave really good like she's got a lot of knowledge of Survivor. She's been watching it for many years, and also her just ability to really get along with a lot of people and her like juvenile spirit she said is like something that will help her, and she really loved Jam Jam as a winner, and obviously Jam Jam's amazing too, so I feel like that's just like good energy, and I'm rooting for her.
Yeah, she gives me heavy Izzy Gleicher vibes in a great way.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that's
I,
it's only in a great way if it's
yeah, oh, of
Izzy
course.
vibes.
Of
Ugh.
course. No, I love Izzy, and I think that she's going to be really, really fun to watch, Nicole. I see her being kind of the comedic relief of the season in a lot of ways, and
Yeah.
I think that she has a good shot. I feel like she, I feel like somebody like Nicole's kind of archetype, if you will, I feel like is better set for Survivor than Big Brother, probably because it's a fast paced game, and I feel like that was Izzy's problem with Big Brother, was just like it's too slow of a marathon, and Survivor's a
Hmm.
little bit more of a sprint in the new era. So I think that if she is anything like Izzy, then I think that'll be work to her advantage.
Hmm.
Yes, I hope so.
I'm. I know. I'm excited to watch Nicole. I hope Nicole makes it really far because she's just like I like very fascinating. Like what like financial crime person, like and a bagel shop person. Like what those are two things that I haven't seen together before. And then I know she's a Kageyaan fan,
Yeah.
so that's also a good sign to me where there's a lot of complicated dynamic strategy going on, but also a lot of entertainment.
Mhm.
So we'll see. We will
Yeah,
see.
that was Nicole's first season, Kagyan, and I think that's a lot of people's. I don't know. I can't remember if she said that she watched it. Yeah, I think she watched it when it was first airing, because I know a lot of people start with Kagyan because it was on Netflix, but I think she start watched it. So she's been a Survivor fan for a minute.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I love she described herself as a love child of Boston Rob and Shambo. That was quite a pairing.
Nicole's hilarious though. That's the thing. And it is I hope that people get Nicole. Like I hope America gets Nicole and understands Nicole cuz like I feel like one of my biggest forms of prepping has been spending time in Instagram like arguing with people who are like hating on the cast members. And Nicole was getting a little bit of hate, I think, for being
Oh,
like, "Ugh, I
really?
don't want to be around straight people," or whatever it is. Like, and it's like a
Who
joke
does?
and it's fine. I know, that's that's what I'm saying. No, you're gonna get Instagram hate under the draft. But seriously, but no, it's like funny because I hope that Nicole translates to the broader audience and then is around forever for us to just laugh with and at.
No, I have faith because I feel like
I do
her
too.
tribe is like it's kind of, Island of Misfit Toys in a way. Like, she has Annie on her tribe. She has like Jeremiah. Like, I feel like a lot of people who like will really
Yeah.
get her. And that makes me happy that I feel like she's not gonna just be kind of like alone on an island of just like, not with a bunch of people who don't wouldn't normally in the outside world kind of associate with her. Like, I think that there's a lot of people there who will embrace her, and
Hmm.
I think she'll fit in just fine.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right,
And now
it
Michael.
is my turn again.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I had not. Okay, I do know who I'm going to go with. I am going to go with this person. It was the only person who, really, I feel like was talked about before when we saw the preview of Survivor 49 at the end of 48. This was the one
Hmm.
person who kind of everyone was talking about. I am going to go with the one, the only Rizgod, Rizgod. How do you pronounce his last name? Velovic.
Yeah. He's going to be a character for sure.
Yeah, and I so just as a backstory of that moment of being introduced to him through the preview, I was at a not only at a watch party here in Washington D.C., but like hosting the watch party, and you're so tired, and like the night it felt like it was the longest night ever. And then they put up the intro, and like we saw like Alex, who was from DC, and it's like, oh wow, oh cool, DC person. And then Rizzo, and I probably just didn't say nice things about Rizzo. I was like, Rizgod, really? Rizgod. So he would be like the last person I'd pick just for that. Like, but he
Okay,
seems so well rounded. Like the character and the persona itself, the it's not as appealing, I think, as the person. I really like him as a person.
I get the vibe for Brizzo that he's not going to be that person on the island. Like, that
No.
is going to be a confessional persona, a like online Twitter persona. I I get the vibe that he is going to be completely different on that island than the person that we saw in those first, 10 seconds that we saw him. And it reminds me almost of like Adrian on this season of Big Brother, how at the first, like the
Mm,
interviews, it was like, who is this cocky guy, like who thinks he knows everything and built a
yeah.
wall comp in his backyard and all this stuff. And then when he gets in the house, he barely speaks. Like, he's like the most respectful, kind guy that was in that entire house. So I get the vibe with Rizzo that he's going to be kind of similar to that, where it's going to be like, oh wait, who is this person? And I really liked his interview actually with Mike Bloom, so I got
Hmm.
much better vibes from him after watching that.
Oh yeah.
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 I agree. I
Especially
feel
when
like he is just like
yeah.
that way, just speaking to one camera, but not like, and the producers, but not to like the other castaways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you show that in the preview too, like I don't know, I'm just happy that he hasn't come off like that in other preseason stuff. So it'll be fun to watch him.
Yes. All right, Matt,
Oh
back to
no,
you.
it's my turn. I'm not even sure. I have a few people in mind, and I really, maybe I'm just choosing this based on who I think you two might choose between now and like 6 turns from now when I go again. But uh wow, there's so many good people, and I'm worried that all of my great
Well,
people are
don't
gonna
worry,
leave.
you get 2 picks now.
Oh wait, I do get two? Oh my gosh, I feel like I just won something. Like I
You
feel like
did
I
a second pick.
wow, this isn't okay. This makes me feel better because there are 3 people that I'm looking at, and the first one I'm going to go with, and I'm going to go stick with kind of my thoughts with Savannah here. I'm going to go with someone who I also saw myself in, like, if I applied to Survivor and didn't make it, I'd be like, that's the person who took my spot. Jawan. Jawan is
All
my
right.
next pick. Also on Savannah's tribe, coincidentally. But he's like a storyteller, a video person from New Jersey, like me. Like, I just like how it makes me nervous, but I like how, like, outwardly candid. I feel like he's nerdy in so many ways, in the most lovable ways possible. And he's been such a fan of Survivor for most of his life at this point, that I really like him. And I also feel like he seemed like someone who was fighting for a lot in terms of inspiring his younger siblings. And so Jawan will be my first pick here.
Yeah, I like Jawan. I think that he's definitely going to be someone to look out for this season with his knowledge of Survivor and just overall just of his like abilities to connect with people. I think he'll be good at just talking with a lot of different people and making good connections overall too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's applied for 6 years to this show. So
Oof.
that is somebody who really wants to be here. And I like that. That I feel like when you've applied for that long and then you finally get the opportunity, like you're not going to let it go to waste. So I think that he's going to be willing to do what it takes to get to the end, and he obviously knows the game. So I have good feelings about Jawan. He said that his one fear is that he's not going to be willing to backstab like his allies, these people that he's bonded with. So that that worries me a little bit.
Not
That maybe
great.
he'll be a little too trusting, but I have a good feeling that I think that he'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Stressful.
Now your next pick.
All
My
right, your second
last
pick.
next pick before I get to pick someone else again in 6 picks from now, or something like that. Something like that. I Now I'm getting cold feet about. I have to like scroll down my list a little bit. I tend to like rank people with our drafts and then go from there. But I will pick. You know what? I'm gonna go with my heart. MC. MC is my next pick
Okay.
here, because like it doesn't seem like someone who watched, like, not a longtime Survivor fan, discovered it during season 47, I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
on
that
the
is
episode
correct.
where Asia Welch was voted out. Both Texas people. So Michael, I'm sorry if I scooped up another Texan from you, but I think you might have some more Texans to pull from. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe are there?
There might be another Texan, but you're not getting
I
this
don't know.
Texan.
I got
Like,
one. I got one. I'm good.
you're not getting this one. So I really like MC, just as like super high energy, great vibes, like really athletic, and gets up early and does boot camps. But someone who I don't think will have like the same pressure that a Jawan might have going into the game, because I can imagine, and we've seen this before, how some of these super fans, I don't know why this is the example that comes to mind, but like Jacob Derwin comes to mind
Yeah.
from Wendell's
Ghost Island.
season, I believe, Ghost Island. So yeah, someone who goes in with all this passion and fire, and then they burn out early, which I don't think we've seen that as much in the new era, because we have a lot of super fans. And here's the other thing. MC, because I just watched Survivor Australia versus the World. No spoilers here, or maybe there are. I don't know.
We've
But
talked about it, but yeah, for those who
yeah,
haven't watched yet, we'll not.
for
spoil
those who haven't watched and are listening to this, I'll just mention the person who this kind of reminds me of is Kirby. Kirby,
Mm,
who from Survivor Australia, who's like
yeah.
someone who admittedly does not watch Survivor.
Even
not
when
watch
she
the-
came back for Australia versus
She's
the
like,
world,
I
she's
didn't.
still-
Yeah, I would almost be offended if I were on the mat. Like, what? You didn't watch my season or
Yeah.
multiple seasons? But reminds me of Kirby in the sense that I think that MC is someone who could be super capable and have a strong instinct for the game, and hopefully, like, wouldn't be hesitant about making moves and pushing forward. And so it was a hard choice because there are so many great picks left on the board, but MC is my pick here.
Yeah, I like MC.
Michelle,
I
I
think
think.
What?
Is
Oh,
it
I'm not sure what it
Michelle?
stands for. Yeah,
I want to
Michelle.
say
That
Michelle's her
sounds
I
right.
first
think
name.
it
Yeah.
is Michelle something. But she was a track athlete in college, so she's like very disciplined with that. And now personal trainer also. So I feel like with that, she'll do really well with the challenges. So if she makes it to merge, she could do well in terms of like individual immunity,
Hmm.
and also helping her tribe in the challenges in the beginning, anyways, too. So I think she has some potential here, and I think that she seems very personable and has a lot of friends. It seems like based on I also saw a TikTok of her, and she was like announcing to her friend
Well,
or
I
like
want to be on your side of
Yeah,
TikTok. I don't. I
right.
don't.
I would have chosen her, Matt, if you didn't get her because I was like, I need to go with my TikTok feed.
Oh.
But she didn't tell any of her friends she was going on Survivor because she was also an alternate, and
Mm.
so she didn't want to tell them and then like be like, oh, actually, I'm not anymore. So she was just said she went on like a wellness retreat or something, just like something that she was gonna be gone for. So I like that seeing all her friends' reactions. It was sweet.
Yeah, we haven't talked about this yet, but there are two alternates on this cast, and there was a lot of press about this that Jeff actually talked about why there are two alternates, that
Hmm.
there were two people who were passing notes trying to talk to each other while they were in sequester before the season starts. What do y'all think of that? That they actually cracked down on that and sent them home?
I want to know who they are first and foremost. That's the biggest question. And I don't know if there's any way of figuring out who those people are, or if they'll ever
I
come
don't
out and
know.
share it, or if there's a chance that they could be on in the future. But I'm really curious. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems over like you're doing too much. What kind of notes could you be passing that would actually even help you in the game? But you're not supposed to do that, so like I don't like it. I don't like rule breakers.
Yeah, no, I was surprised by that too. That they also were so open about discussing that's what happened. Like I feel like
Hmm.
sometimes they just wouldn't even acknowledge that. But this season, like we know exactly what was going on, which is great. I mean, I like the transparency there.
I think they want to make sure it doesn't happen again. That they're like, okay,
Oh,
for
totally.
you future contestants that are going to come on this show, do not try to do this because we actually now have set a precedent that you're going to get sent home if you do that. And that's why we bring the alternates here. So, but we do often find out like who the alternates were in previous seasons,
Hmm.
but I don't think we're ever going to find out who these people are because they're probably not going to be asked back in a future season, I would assume.
Interesting though that they're on the alternates are on the same tribe, the
Yes.
Hina tribe, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. That is interesting. Jason's the other alternate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if they'll have a bond over that.
Yeah.
Because I assume they know. Or they'll talk to each other.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that could be something to bond somebody early on in a tribe. So that could be interesting. But yeah, MC. I like MC. I think that she has a lot going for her. I think the fact that she maybe doesn't, well, she's watched now. She said she's gone back to watch a lot, but I do think the fact that like she hasn't like
Hmm.
been thinking about this in her entire life and like is built up to like this moment. I think that could be helpful for her because she's not
I
going to
agree.
put so much pressure on herself maybe that I think a lot of other people do when they're like, this is my moment, this is the time, this is what I've for years wanted, and like they overthink everything, they get paranoid,
Right.
and then it gets them sent out. So I think I could see that actually works in her favor.
I love how I have like the two sides of the coin between MC and Jawan. Like one
Hmm.
who's really wanted this for the longest time, and the other who, you know, it's just as valid, has wanted it for the last year.
Yeah, you're covered on both bases.
I
Whichever
am.
side, whichever plan strategy works, you're gonna get somebody there.
That's right.
All right, whose turn is it? Is
Your
it is it my
turn.
turn?
Turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Who do I want next? Okay. I'm gonna go with someone who I just really liked him in the interview, and I think that he seems like a very easy person to get along with and will fit in really well with his tribe. I'm gonna go with Alex Moore.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. He seems like he'll he'll do well. I feel like overall, like the political comms people, like they obviously know how to talk and get their message
Mhm.
across in certain ways. So I think he'll be good at that.
This is where I'll be a little harsh. So
Okay.
I put Alex Moore toward the bottom of my list, and I think it's my bias against like DC
Ah,
political
sure.
people because there's a certain way of communicating, and I wonder if people will. I mean, it's hard to tell because like I wonder if people will perceive him as genuine or not as genuine. Is he going to how genuine will he be while he's out there? Like a lot of that DC political world is like a game for a lot of people. It's like the House of Cards or the scandal of it all. And so I am very curious to see how he does. I also will say I relate to him so much because he, in the content I saw, was thinking about margaritas, about happy hour. Like, yes, I'm all about that. Like, let's go to happy hour, Alex. But I just don't know if that's going to be helpful going into the game. Like, I love his personality, but I just don't have the best vibe about how he'll do in the game. But again, that's like similar, maybe some similarities to him, and yet I don't feel great about him.
Okay, fair enough.
But he
Yeah,
could
no,
go
I
either
could see it.
way. He could go either
I
way.
could see it. I could see that, if I can't remember whether he said he was going to lie about his job or not. I don't
He said he
remember.
would say that. I think that he's a like comms person, but not the political
Okay.
part. Is what I
Okay.
believe.
That's smart.
That makes
Because I could
sense.
see if he says political, like that could raise some eyebrows in people thinking like, oh, he's manipulative. He knows how to,
Which it's funny because it's like he's just a comp, like he just does comms, like
right.
he's not, he's not the
But people don't know.
politician.
Like they hear that one buzzword and it's like, oh, you're all the same. So yeah, I'm glad that he is not telling people that. I think that will work in his favor.
I hope he
Yeah.
finds a wife like he's been hoping for.
Yeah, maybe out there. Who
That's the
knows?
goal. That's what his boss wants, which I feel like is an HR violation. But anyway,
Yeah. That'll be funny to see that if it happens.
mhm.
Okay, next up, I get two picks.
Oh no,
Um,
this is
so
dangerous.
I'm gonna get Sophie, the other Sophie. I feel
Okay.
like I could see myself a lot in her, also in her interview, specifically when she talked about being the glue girl, which I've also
Hmm.
Mm.
considered that bringing friends together and like different people didn't know each other, like they know each other because of me.
Yes,
And
you do. I
so,
can attest to that.
yeah, thank you. So I like Sophie's in that sense, but also I think she also obviously she works as a strategy associate, so she also has to think about strategy a lot and works on that every day. Like her brain just is wired that way. So I think that's gonna help her in the game as well. I just hope she doesn't come off as like too much strategic and like get on people's like radars of being like, oh, she's like too much of a threat, just because I feel like she is pretty smart in that. Also I forgot to mention she's also from Maryland and I'm from Maryland, so another reason why I choose
Mm.
her. So I'm rooting for Sophie. I hope that she makes it. And I think that on her tribe, I think she'll get along with MC. I think that and Christine, I think the three of them, like I'm seeing like a girl vibe there.
Hmm.
I could see it. I could see that on that tribe. Yeah. Yeah, I really like Sophie. She, funny enough, she kind of reminds me of the other Sophie,
Yeah,
Oh
Sophie
wow,
same.
Clark.
So I'm like,
that's
maybe
so
one of
funny.
them will make it far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I really like her. I
I do too.
let me find my notes on Sophie. Where's Sophie here?
I was gonna say one thing I'll mention about Sophie while you pulled it up is that like I feel like in some ways to me she reminds me a little bit. I wrote down like she's a bit of a reverse Bianca, which I only say
Mm.
because Bianca like from outside of DC from the New York area. Being from my hometown of West Orange, New Jersey, but like they both seem like really big, bubbly personalities. Both seem like strategic in that way and super likable. So I'm curious to see how Sophie unfolds in the game.
Yeah. So Sophie was alternate for 48, which I think is very interesting.
Oh,
That I what I like about that is that I feel like she was able to kind of prep herself last year for it. She kind of got the experience of being there preseason and kind of sussing out, like, who am I going to align with? Who am I not? And then she got to watch the season and kind of, I think, maybe like put herself in their shoes very easily. And now she
Hmm.
gets to go out here and kind of and live that out. And I wonder if maybe that helps to like watch that and be like, "Ooh, I wonder, I probably would have made that mistake, or I maybe wouldn't have, whatever." And so like now she gets to do it with a little bit more knowledge than she had last time. So I like that. I think that that will work out well for her.
Yeah, I agree. That's why she's on my team. Okay, and next up, I'm gonna go with another alternate. I'm gonna go with Jason. So I think Jason is super smart. His him talking about how he worked at Google and then also went to law school and is a law clerk, all of that. Like I'm just like, wow, his brain is crazy. But I think I think that with that, like he'll be able to understand a lot of people in the game and just seeing because obviously he worked in tech and then also now in law field. So I think with that he has a breadth of like at least just like knowing different kind of vibes of people. So I think that will be helping him in the game and obviously also being an alternate. Like he also kind of had that like excitement and like wow, like I'm in it now. Like this is great. Like I didn't expect to be here. So I think that will help him too.
I will say, you did pick Kyle last season, also a law person.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference between. I guess I don't know the
Mm.
difference between like a lawyer and a law clerk, or what
Well, he
those
hasn't
things
he
are.
hasn't gotten his bar. Yeah, he hasn't passed the bar, so that's why.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
like an
that's
intern.
overrated. Overrated. It's close enough. I'm just saying. I didn't see it with Kyle last season, and you did. So maybe there's something there with Jason, but
Yeah.
definitely more cerebral and like goofy, fun. But he also talked about like living in fear, which that's where I'm like, well, one, super relatable, but also I wonder how that'll play out in the show. Like if he'll be afraid to make moves, or if he'll be paranoid, or if that maybe that doesn't show up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say he had
Interesting.
my favorite answer of the entire interviews that I've watched,
Wow.
where, Mike Bloom always ends the interviews saying, if you could bring one celebrity or fictional character onto the island, who would you pick? And he said, "Can I pick you, Mike Bloom?" And that is, I've always said that's what I would answer. Because that's,
Wow.
yes, of course you want Mike Bloom. He's talked to everybody preseason and he knows all of their secrets. And yeah, of course you want him there to tell you everything. And yeah, I always said that's what my answer would be for that. And I'm mad that he took it before I did.
I've never thought about that. Maybe I would tell Mike like Shannon Gus or something, you know. It's
I want
taken.
someone there who like just I can just talk about Survivor with 24/7, I think. And I feel like I could do that with both Mike and Shannon.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
what a good answer.
Yeah. So good choice, Molly.
Thank you.
So do you get a second pick? Oh wait, that was your
That
That's
was
second.
your
my
second
second.
pick.
So we are back
Back to
to
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm glad I went now because I saw this person after my last pick. I was like, ooh, I think I maybe should have picked them. So
Uh-oh.
I am glad that I still have them. I am gonna go with Steven.
Oh
Oh.
yeah.
I like Steven. He is very smart. He's a rocket scientist, literally. So that is, a very smart person. And he has a great story. He was diagnosed with hearing loss when he was in his early
Mm.
20s. And that's crazy to go that long and not know that you can hear. So I liked his story, and I think that he is just. I think that he's smart, someone who's smart, but also seems very personable and not necessarily just like somebody who you immediately look at and they're like, oh, that's like the nerdy guy. And so I
Hmm.
think that he kind of like has the best of both worlds, where I think he could fit in with both like the jocks and the nerds and like every type of person. I feel like he feels like he could fit in well. So yeah, I think that I feel like good about his chances.
Yeah. No, I like Steven. I think I have a very or except for Jason now, a very female team. So I was like, do I do Jason or Steven? And I think Steven's also a good pick in terms of like his just brain and overall. I think that he'll do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. It's so interesting because he mentioned rocket scientists and NASA, and I'm sure a lot of people think of Carson, but it's sort of like what you just said with
Hmm.
Jason before. Like it's the intern version versus the like full-fledged, deep in their career person. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm really curious to see Steven, but I also the one thing I'm just looking at my notes and laughing because the one thing that makes me concerned about him is that I think he's a big Rupert fan, which like
Oh,
I don't know how that turns out in the like who's a Rupert fan from the
in
new era.
2025, yeah.
In 2025, like and for him to be your person, and I get it from the personality, like big hero standpoint, because Rupert definitely
Hmm.
had that, but it's such a particular person to say now. So I'm very fascinated what that
Yeah.
means for how Steven might play the game or how he might navigate it.
Was that his first season, Pearl Islands? I feel like he might have said that, or maybe that was someone else I'm thinking of. But maybe
I
that's
don't
like
know.
why, because I feel like a lot of times it's just like, oh, someone from your first season is like he holds a special place in your heart, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess, and yeah, that's probably a good point. Like they're like if someone asked me my favorite, depending on the day, it would it like might be the most random person. So
Yeah, same.
or Rupert, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
So I have two
Who?
picks now.
Yes,
Yes.
Matt, you
Oh
have
my gosh,
two
this
And this
is
is
picks.
technically your
thrilling.
last two because then you're getting stuck with the last one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry,
maybe
Choose
I need to
wisely.
really be strategic and throw you both off with my pick somehow. Or maybe I pick the person I think is going to be last and then I end up with no, I think that's a little too complicated. Well, I'm glad because one of the picks that I was thinking of picking earlier, and I feel like he's a very high variance pick in this game, but he's someone who I could see being very unsuspecting. Um, he wants to be the first male Taurus to win Survivor, which upsets me as a Taurus because I would love to be the first male Taurus to win Survivor one day. Who knows? Actually, you know what? Could still happen. But I'm gonna go put my eggs in the Jeremiah Ing basket. Jeremiah Ing, get
Okay.
on my team, Jeremiah.
All right. All
I think
right.
that's a pick I feel really good about. I don't know how he'll do, but I feel good committing to being on the Ing train.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Jeremiah. He seems really sweet and like he'll get along with everyone. I don't know in terms of like how far he'll make it, if he'll make it all the way, but I think that he has potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I really like him. I don't know what it is about him that I just get pre-jury vibes. I don't know what it is. It's just something about him where I'm like, oh, I just don't see him getting very far. And I hate that because I really like him and I hope he does well. I want to be wrong about that. But there's
Mm-hmm.
just something about him the entire time I was watching his interview that I was like, oh, I just don't have a good feeling about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
But
I
maybe
appreciate
he'll do well.
that. No, I felt like, and I didn't watch his full interview, but I want to root for Jeremiah. That's part of it.
Yeah.
I really liked having Jeremiah. I still like having Jeremiah on my
Yeah, and that's
team.
like why you want people on your team. You want people who you want to root for, that
Yeah.
helps. So I think that's one of those picks that it's just like no matter how they're actually going to do, you just want to root for Jeremiah. So I think it's a good pick.
Yeah. But now when I think about my second pick here, um, I almost feel like I'm playing like four dimensional chess. I don't even know which one is not the real, probably four or maybe 5-dimensional chess. But I'm trying to pick someone because I have a feeling who some of the people are who might end up in the bottom, who I might get at the end. So it
Hmm.
doesn't make sense for me to pick one of those people, even though I could see a world where some of them do well. I, you know what? I know who I'm going to pick. This person made me actually kind of grossed me out a little bit with what they shared.
Oh, I know who you're
Uh,
picking.
like, why are you collecting blackheads in a jar?
Yeah.
Um, but veteran, veteran in Afghanistan, someone who has like that weird quality and maybe a Carolyn Uyghur upside to her. Um, but also maybe an early boot. And I guess I can't change my mind now because as I say it, I'm questioning it. But I'll go with Sage. Like, I'm gonna go with Sage
Yeah,
here. I just think I have I'm going for the whole team. Going
Mhm.
for a well-rounded team.
sure.
And she's gonna be on that team. And I want, you know what? Good luck, Sage. Like, I want her to do well for the sake of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot better vibes
Ah.
from Sage on her mic interview than I did in like the little like cast preview thing where she
Oh,
talked about
totally.
collecting blackheads. Like
and
that,
they
I was
and
like,
they
who
led
are
with
you?
that too. They led with
Right.
so it's like a little, they didn't have to do that to her, but
Yeah. And so like when I just saw that, I was like, ooh, who is this girl? But like when we got her extended interview, I was like, okay, I like her better than I thought I would. So I think this is a good pick. I think that she has a lot of potential to fit in with this tribe. And I don't necessarily like I get the Carolyn comparison, but I feel like she's not quite to that.
no.
Like if Carolyn's like up here on that level, like Sage is somewhere like in the middle. Like I feel like she's not quite as out there wacky where like she's gonna be like a total like secluded on her tribe. Like I think that she has
hmm
potential to tone that part of her down.
But I think it could be a little disarming in a good way where you're like, oh, like, she's normal in that she's weird. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, that was my pick. I'm looking at the list now and I'm like, come on, Matt, did you have to? But I think that I'm standing by my picks because I have
As you
to.
should.
I
As you
have
should.
to. I have to.
Now my
All
turn.
right.
So
It's my turn.
Yes.
it is.
Okay. I am gonna go with okay, let me think. Who's left here?
Good
Okay, I
picks.
think I know who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with somebody who I think has Mike White upside in a way.
Uh-huh.
I see a world where maybe he's an early boot, but I also could see a world where he makes it pretty far. And I think I'm going to go with Nate Moore.
Okay.
Give me
Yeah.
another Moore, just more Moores on my team.
More.
Yeah, I like
he-
Nate.
he loves Australian Survivor.
Yes.
So someone who loves that, I feel like is gonna bring some entertainment onto our season here in the US. So I think that would be exciting if he can play somewhat of like what Australians do.
I really
Mhm.
like him too. And I wrote down Mike White upside, John Lovett downside. Like
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah.
so, it's it'll be interesting. I really like him a lot. Like I kind of want to pick him, and yet I felt like I had too many people with that from that tribe already.
Oh yeah, you do. You have three. Well, no, Sage is on the same tribe.
Oh, well, yeah, look at that. Yeah, no, I'm stacking up on that tribe. I should have gone with the whole tribe. That'd be ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Except
each
for
just get a
Rizzo,
tribe.
maybe. Yeah, not a bad strategy.
Hey, yeah. Uh, no, yeah, I think that Nate has. I think you're right. It's Mike White upside, John Lovett downside. Where like, is he gonna fit in with his tribe? Is he gonna like, be the odd one out? Possible, but I don't think it's quite as severe as it was for uh John Lovett. Like I think,
hmm
she has well, does he? No, his tribe's very young actually, now that I'm looking at it.
But he
Jawan gives older
yeah.
vibes to me than 28.
I was gonna say, I like it. It does seem like Jawan and Nate would bond, um, especially because they're both film people and like LA film people. Like, come on, how are they not gonna
Yeah.
bond? So I
Do you
see
think Jawan will
that.
recognize him?
Yeah, I wouldn't have ever thought that, but sure. Because yeah, Joanne's nerding out for the stuff
Yeah.
that Nate Moore's making. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
will it
Right.
be a good thing? Will it be like a I mean, I go back to like Asia and Teeny,
Mm.
uh and I don't know if that really, I guess if you're being results oriented, that didn't truly work out for Asia, unfortunately. But
But I think it did. Like I think it
it did
bonded them
it seemed like
immediately.
it would. Yeah.
Yeah, where I think it was just kind of a crappy situation that Teeny ended up being in, but like
Yeah.
it I think in theory, like there's a lot of worlds where that helps Asia.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know. Nate's a good pick here. He's like one of the strong pick. He might even win this season, for all we know.
Who
Yeah.
knows? And
Get
then he'll
another
get
million.
and then he'll give everyone cameos in Marvel movies after this season.
That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go the Mike White White Lotus route.
Hmm.
So, all right. Molly, you're up.
Yes. Okay.
Interesting.
Do you
So
get two picks here?
I
Your
get
last
two
two?
picks. I get my
Wow.
last two
Okay.
picks here. And I'm excited for both these picks, which actually these could be surprising for people, but I actually have a lot of faith in them, even though they're older players. But I'll start with Annie.
Mm.
So she also lives in Austin. I live in Austin, so have that relationship there. I think that she just seems very down to earth. Also gives me kind of like the Carolyn Weger vibes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I just think that she'll get along with a lot of people on her tribe, and overall just like won't be seen as such a big threat, even though she does have good physical qualities. Like she's great at swimming and running, like all that. So I think even though she's like on the older side of in Survivor cast terms, that like she actually could put up a fight in those challenges too. So I can see her doing pretty well, even for her maybe disadvantages in terms of age, but I think there's potential.
Yeah, I think she's again like disarming in certain ways where you're not looking at, she called her band Trashy Annie. I'm not calling her trashy. You're not looking at her as a threat. I don't really know. Like it'll be interesting to see how people perceive her. And I really hope she's not in the spot where she makes it to the final three and then doesn't get any votes, even though she's
Mhm.
played a solid game. Like it's I don't I love, like I think of Sue
I was
from
just gonna
season
say that.
47, who I think was a really strong player, but I also don't think got the credit for it. And hopefully that's not Annie's story, you know.
Hmm.
So but yeah, both entrepreneurs. Yeah, both entrepreneurs. Interesting. Sue and Trashy Annie have some things in common.
Yeah, to me, it's like if Susme and Carolyn Weger had a baby, it would be Trashy
Yeah.
Annie. Like to me, it's like she is their love child, and I that worries me that she is going to be follow in their footsteps as someone who makes Final Three and then doesn't get the respect that she deserves because of
Hmm.
her age and this kind of this perception that she was just dragged to the end when that may not necessarily be the case. So I think it's a good pick because I think she'll make it far if those two are any indication. But I do worry about her win equity.
Yeah, I wonder what she has to do in the end, though. Like, what does that archetype have to do in the end to get the respect and get the win? What do they have to say? I don't know,
Hmm.
but yeah, to your point, Michael, the fact that she could get there potentially, that's the first step, one of the
Yeah.
steps, I guess.
I think that her archetype just has to make these big flashy moves that they can't
Mm,
like the jury can't look past. Like they need like very tangible things to point to as to what they did more than just like, oh, I was involved in a lot of strategy talk. Oh, I voted the right way the whole time. All this stuff that like is real and legit, but and if somebody else said it, it probably would mean more, but I think that she has to like
yeah.
play an idol and have cancel all these votes that were for her, or do some sort of big flashy move. I think is the only thing that will really get her chance to win up there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see if she can do it. But next up, I'm gonna go with Matt. So
Mm.
I thought that like in his interview, he gave off like that. I just felt like he actually could make it. Like sometimes with older guys here, I think that they don't always get along with the younger people, but he seemed like he had really young spirit, and also the fact that he said that he like just grew up in the outdoors and going camping and fishing, and the elements is sometimes one of the hardest part for people to get used to going on Survivor. And I think for him to be able to be kind of like that provider and showing like how to build the shelters and fire and all those things, that he'll be seen as like someone to keep around for a period of time, and then like could actually make it there, if he's doing well and in terms of the relationships he's building with that. So I have faith that he could make it there.
Okay. Yeah,
So I'm going
I
on Uli, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oof.
I don't know how to feel about Matt. I really don't. I don't know whether he's going to be like first boot or make it to final five. I don't know. I could see both ways.
Yeah.
I will say, I just feel like I don't know what it is, but I really feel like that tribe will be the disaster tribe if there's a
I can see
disaster
it.
tribe. And I don't know that there needs to be one, but I just don't feel great about them. And I can't put my finger on why. And and my problem with Matt is just that he sticks out so much that
Hmm.
unfortunately I think that people will maybe be quicker to take him out. But maybe there'll be people who gravitate to him and want to work with him to get him further. I don't know.
I
It's
think what
hard.
worries me is
Yeah,
that even in
please.
his interview with Mike, when Mike asked a question that Matt thought seemed to be like kind of like a not like a stupid question, but like an obvious question,
Oh
he
no.
couldn't hide his emotion there. He was like, what a question. Why are you asking me that? Of course I want to find idols or whatever." And it's like I could just see somebody asks Matt to, go do something or like, "Oh, should we put the shelter here or here?" And like Matt thinks it's an obvious choice and he's like, "What, of course you should do it this way." And I think he could rub people the wrong way. And that's what
Hmm.
worries me a bit about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
We'll
But who
see.
knows? Who
Yeah, who
knows?
knows? Not us. Not us.
All right. We're down to
Two
two.
picks.
And I think it's
Yeah.
my pick.
And I don't think that they're the two worst picks.
No, I think there's one though that
Okay, no,
I
don't
I
do
think is
this
the
to
obvious
me.
pick.
Don't, oh, okay. Well, okay, well, I will just say that you should go for it, and then I'll defend whoever I end up with.
Okay, okay, all right. I am gonna go with Jake here.
Shocker.
Pretends to be shocked.
Yeah.
Davon, insert Davon here. Yeah, I think that Jake gives me Joe Hunter upside.
Mhm.
Mm,
Like where he's the big guy, obviously. Somebody
yeah.
who I think very easily could end up being, if he does make the merge, somebody who like goes on a little bit of immunity streak, and then as soon as he doesn't win it, gets voted out. I could see that world for sure. But I think that Jake it seems like the type of person who really wants to like play a integrity and honesty game like we saw last season. He seems like a leftover from a 48 era gone by. But I think that in this cast I don't know how well that will play, especially that they just are watching 48 as this season is filming.
Yeah.
So I think that there's probably a lot of people who are going to look at Jake and be like, he's Joe. Or will they say we got to get him out, or will they say we got to align with him?
True.
I mean, is he Joe or is he like I could see a little bit of David?
Yeah, I could
Not
see
that
that
either's
too.
I
better,
see more
but
Joe. I think he's more like down to earth and personable, also like being a police officer. Like I think that's more Joe vibe.
yeah, but Jake has a
Just
nipple
one.
thing going on. One. Not a
Mm-hmm.
ring, a barbell apparently.
Bar, yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I was
Uh,
saying. But I'm just saying, there's like I'm curious. I do think he's a really good pick. And more than anything, and this is how where I felt good about Joe is that Joe had this like bigger motivation And in a way, I wish that it, like when someone's motivated that deeply by something, and for Jake, is it his like dad being sick and having glaucoma? Is it his wife being pregnant? Is it like there's so many different things, and I just think that people fare well when they have that motivation going for them. So I could see Jake making it really far, but it is funny because Jake, to me, at least looking at this cast now, he really seems like he sticks out like a sore thumb. But I would have said the same about David or Joe last season. Both of them did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that it really does feel like in this specific cast, he sticks out a lot more than he would have last season, just in terms of, I think I even think about it more in personality than just like his looks.
Oh, totally.
Because he's like the one person this season who really is kind of beating that like loyalty, honesty, integrity drum. But yeah, I think that it'll be interesting because I don't remember I think they started filming this season. The last episode they saw of 48 was the Chrissy boot, I believe. So in that moment, like that five strong were still very, very strong and together. And yeah, I wonder whether that's something that they're going to, if they look at Jake in that way as somebody who would be a part of that type of alliance that really sticks together strong, whether they view that as a threat or somebody that they want to go gravitate toward. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Jake also is on the same tribe as fellow Canadian Jeremiah, even though they seem like very different archetypes. So who knows? Who knows if they get together and work together?
Yeah. I also see Jake and Nicole butting heads.
I see Jake and Alex butting heads too.
Oh,
also.
Okay. Okay, interesting. I can see that too.
Yeah.
And I could see that's the problem with Jake is that everyone on his tribe, I feel like Annie, I see it too. Like that, and so
you have him now,
honestly,
Michael.
I see Jake butting heads with every single person on his tribe.
You chose to go with him, and I think that was
I don't
a big
think
mistake.
that this next pick is any
no, I
better,
think this next pick, let me actually, and I know this is my last pick, so
Yes.
I'm going to go with my pick, Shannon, who Shannon. I feel so great about Shannon. Shocker. 28 parents. They own a sports bar where RHAP, Rob had a podcast. Rob had a podcast. Rob has a podcast, had a live show thing. So that's a good sign, I guess, you know. But here's my thing, and this is what makes her. I think she should have been one of the first picks, actually.
Okay.
Because she is close personal friends with Boston Rob.
True.
Close personal might be overstating. Is definitely overstating it. But
family friends.
She has met Boston Rob, and I'm assuming that he gave her some advice. I don't think that she would have taken it, but I do think that could get her somewhere. Like, I would like to think that everything that I'm perceiving about her before the game is not how she'll actually interact with people. Because if the way that she showed up, and I did not watch her full interview with Mike Bloom, so is that like the first one I should watch after this, just to like for entertainment value?
You might not know who's interviewing her based on how much she talks versus Mike.
She had to let it out. She's been silent for so long. So I'm just saying, like, the one part really though that bothers me, there's actually a few things that bother me about her, but one of them is that she says in one of the things I watched, like how the world revolves around her, and I'm like, Shannon, come on, don't do this. You could be such a big player here. You could make it so far. And I will say, because I didn't actually bring this up earlier, like I really feel like the women will do very well this season. Like I feel like very strong about. I feel like the women that we've been talking about are stronger players potentially than a lot of the men. And I wonder if Shannon will find her place within the tribe, like be able to find connections with Sage, because she seems like she's a wellness person. Like Sage is a good name. Like that's a
Okay.
thing that like wellness people love to burn. So Shannon and
Oh, that's
Sage, that's a bond
true.
right there.
Yeah.
They're both kind of quirky. I think Savannah maybe will get along with everyone in general.
Yeah.
I love how again, Jawan, Savannah, Sage, and Shannon are all in my group. So I'm pulling for
Yeah.
that to be like the tribe that never goes to tribal at the beginning. So we'll see. But
And
Shannon,
that
not the
actually
worst
wouldn't
pick.
shock me. I feel like
Not the
this could
worst pick.
be. Yeah, I feel
Wait,
like this could be that tribe.
I will say I also might have like 5 of the first boots on my draft list. So we'll see.
Well,
Or I guess
here's
they won't be first boots.
an upside. You only have one first boot.
Yeah.
Unless
yeah,
5
that's
of them
good.
quit in episode 1. Who knows? This could be 45 all over again.
We'll see. Yeah, it might happen, but Shannon is on my team. Wow.
Shannon. Oh God, I have so much to say about Shannon.
Please.
Shannon not hired, but had an AI guru who she consulted with about the game.
Sorry. I'm laughing because I'm like, was it ChatGPT? Like, did she just log into ChatGPT?
Yes.
Oh, anyone could do that.
But she asked, I believe, I don't have this written down, but I believe she asked ChatGPT to talk to her like a Survivor winner mixed with Gandhi or something like that. Something to that effect.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, so interesting. She gives me heavy like have y'all seen on TikTok this lady that fell in love with her psychiatrist?
No.
What?
I have seen like men who've fallen in love with ChatGPT, but no.
Oh my God, no, y'all have to see this. It's like a multi-part like kind of like Who the F Did I Marry type type thing. Like where it's like 50-part TikTok series. God, I can't believe neither of y'all, Molly especially, you were very chronically
Molly.
online.
Come
I'm
on,
surprised.
We've been talking about your feed this whole time, your TikTok feed, and then this is the one.
This went viral like a month or two ago. But she like is very like gives me heavy vibes of that. Kendra, I believe, was her name.
Maybe.
And she also actually gives me Kendra vibes from Survivor 45. Or what season was Kendra on?
45.
Was it 45? Yeah.
But
yeah,
she also bought like I probably wouldn't have felt good about Kendra going to the season, but it's just all about dynamics. It's like who do you bond with? And this is a very, like I started out saying at the beginning, in the most loving way, like a very kind of weird group of people where I think Shannon would stand out a lot more in a different group of people that wasn't as quirky. So that's where I feel good about her. And we're talking about, but here's the problem. We're talking about finding the winner and picking the winner. And I would just be shocked if they voted for her in the end. But I could say that about a lot of people.
But we have to pick everyone on the whole
We do
cast.
have to pick we do need to do that.
She's just one that's maybe not as likely, but could happen.
Yeah, to me, I hope she wins for the sake of me and my draft team, but also for the sake of this conversation.
Oh boy!
You never know.
If she wins, we're gonna have a weird year of 2025 of winners on reality TV potentially, with whoever's gonna win BB27. And then
like Ava,
a Shannon winner. Yeah, Kelly wins BB27 and Shannon wins Survivor 49.
Wild.
We'll see.
That happens.
Yeah. Well, we have our teams.
Yeah.
So let's run through each of our teams. So on Team Matt, we have Savannah, Jawan, MC, Jeremiah, Sage, and Shannon. On Team Michael, Christina, Rizzo, Alex, Steven, Nate, and Jake. And on Team Molly, Sophie with an I, Nicole, Sophie with an E, Jason, Annie, and Matt. So just at a first glance, who do we think has the strongest team overall?
You know what? I shouldn't do this, but not me. It's not me. Like it just feels very different than your teams, but who knows?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say I like my team.
Yeah.
I like your team a lot.
You have also an even split between all the tribes, which might be a good thing for you. Mine is not like that. So I think
Well,
No.
no, it is. You're evenly split between two tribes.
well, yeah, between two, but I don't have a whole tribe.
But
So
that's because
Sure,
I
but
have
like if
I
one
have
tribe,
them.
if one tribe goes to tribal like for the first 5 weeks, you're not going to lose all of your players. Is what I'm
that's
Just
true.
some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think with that though, Michael, you would have a greater chance of not having someone go home because you have multiple people. Like like you have more
Yes,
opportunity.
but then I always have to worry no matter which tribe goes to tribal.
Yeah, that's
Like I'm equally as
But then I
worried.
have to worry even more if Uli goes to try. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
but if
it's
they don't, then
it's
you're good. Then you're, pretty good chances.
I
So
mean,
that
all
is
I
high
want
true.
risk, high
is
reward.
really whoever makes it to merge, so it's okay. Um,
Yeah.
but I know I feel like I have a pretty strong team. If I'm
You do.
biased, but like, I like the people I have too. But I would say objectively, I think Michael does have the strongest team here.
I
Yeah,
you
but I don't
know
like rooting for men. And I only have one woman.
Yeah, you
So,
always have the men, and I always have the women.
yeah, how does that keep working? How does that work?
I don't know,
that
but I
Um,
have
well
two guys this time, not just Kyle. Last time I only had Kyle, and Kyle was the winner. So
that worked out really well.
that's all you need. All you
Yeah,
need is one.
I guess so.
All right. Well, before we end here, we did this with BB27. Molly and I did this, and I think it was fun that we make one prediction for something that will happen this season. And
Oh.
then we'll look back at the end and see how right or wrong we were.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have a prediction?
I really want to get this right. We're each making a prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
It
not
can be
going
as
first.
vague or specific as you'd like it to be. Mine was very vague for Big Brother.
I have one ready. It's a
Okay.
specific one, but it's also kind of based on the interviews. But I feel like this could come true. Is that MC will go on a journey, and I'm gonna say that she gets the advantage from going on the journey.
Mhm.
Okay. I like that. I'm going to say, I think I have mine ready. I will say, I think that the Kele tribe is going to be the Kumbaya tribe. Like, I don't think that there's going to be, like, we're going to see, like, little conflicts here and there. I could see, like, building the shelter, like, but I see them being that tribe that, like, doesn't go to tribal very often. Like, maybe due to Jake in a lot of, like, the physical challenges. I could see him kind of carrying it through the physical. And I just feel like they're going to be that tribe that goes to merge, and we've seen very little of them, and we really don't understand their dynamics very much, just because they haven't been going to tribal very often, and they end up going in the merge with the numbers.
Okay, that could happen. I hope that happens because I have a lot of people on that tribe. So we'll see.
I really wanted to go with a prediction that like I felt like I don't think anyone's gonna be medevaced. I was trying to like sort through like is
Mm.
Jeremiah gonna be medevaced? No, I'm not seeing that. I am gonna go with I think that I'm gonna go with the blind side here. I think that Rizzo will be blindsided and it'll be really sad.
Mm. Okay.
And
Okay.
he will cry. And even if he's not blindsided, he will cry on his way out.
This
he's
prediction's
not
getting
the
more
winner.
specific and more as we go along. I like that. You're making it harder to be correct as,
I
as
know.
this goes.
But more impressive if I am correct.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
true.
I like it. I like it. We will see if any of these end up being accurate in about 12 weeks here when the season ends. So, thank you, Matt, so much for joining us for another draft here. It was so much fun.
I'm
Anything
honored
to
be
plug?
here.
Anything? Where can our listeners follow you?
Follow
What do you
me,
got?
Matt Scott GW, on the various platforms. You can also find me in lots of places randomly, like over on Chappelle's podcast Recap Kickback. We are talking for a couple of episodes about the show Beauty in Black season 2. That's a lot of fun. I pop up here and there on Crime Scene, my wrestling co-host Mari's podcast sometimes. Mari and I are also doing something called the Wrestling Kickback over on Recap Kickback. So you just never know. I just show up. Who knows? I might recap Big Brother sometime over on RHAP. Do that once in a while. So just follow me, Matt Scott GW, on whatever the platform is. Happy to be here. This is a thrill. Like I'm so invested now each and every week because of this draft, and I'm most excited to see the graphic come out on social media. So thanks for having me back. It means a lot. It really does. I love a draft.
Oh, well, so do we. It's so good to have you. I get very excited anytime I see you pop up on RJP or
Oh,
wherever you are. So excited for that. And thank you so much for listening and watching. We will be back next week. A bunch of shows are starting in this next week or two here. So we are going to be pretty busy with shows to cover. So be sure to stay tuned for that and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and TikTok. So be sure to follow us and subscribe, and we will catch you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.